Hello and welcome to the 52 art journals. I am just gathering a couple of things. So I want to introduce you to this journal, and I will talk about how some of the elements and how it was made. We'll do a little flip through, and then we will do a page from it as well. So I don't have a name for this journal, but it's typical of the size that I like in my art journals. So it measures, let's see, it measures, we'll say 6.5 by 8. Yeah, so that is, yeah, roughly the sizes that I like, 6.5 by 8. So it's made from a selection of cards, and I did, let me see to double check because it's been a while since I've used this. So I did stitch it. It's made from 2 signatures, which you can see here. And what I've done, usually with cards, especially if they're not typically watercolour paper or mixed media art paper, is that I will place masking tape. And I've got an extra thick one recently. I brought this one. It's just like a really nice size. So let's have a flip through to some of the pages. Now, some of the pages you may have seen the art journal process, so I'll link to the videos where that have already been completed. So this on the front page is a mixed media art piece that I did, and it's a sculptural canvas, and this is all fabric and this is clay, and then we go down, this is all fabric and you've got some clay bits here. And then on the front, this is an old $1 coin, and it turned up, so I thought, okay, you're coming onto the journal, you're being added. It's also got washi tape around it as well. And to some of the pages I took some extra large playing cards and used them as tabs on some of the pages. So do you want to have a look in? Do you have a look at the pages? So I've got a lot of collage on there, taken a lot of elements, and I've used, so I've got paper packs like this where I've got excess paper and I put them in these bags, and then when I'm ready to kind of do a page, I'll just grab one of these and say, okay, let's just use as much as we can from here. And that saves you from having to, well, saves me from having to kind of dig around, and you know, it's just like, just put paper packs together, all different elements, and then when you're ready you've got them to use. So these were pre-cut that I got in another bag, and these were things that I've got a punch, and I punched out shapes. But let me just let you enjoy looking at them. So there's lots of mixed media, paint, handmade paper, marks, and some of these pages are not yet complete, so I don't consider this one yet complete. It doesn't feel complete to me, even though it has got quite a lot on it. And then I've got other pages where I've started faces, but let's have a look through and you can see some of the tabs that I've made. So I do like prepping some of my pages. This one was a small painting that I did, and I felt like putting it in here, and I've also got some beading on here and some stitching. These are pages that I've done, and I like the look of them, and I feel like I'd like to create some backgrounds from them, printed backgrounds, to then I can take a photocopy of this and then I can use it again in other pages, so that's nice to do. here I was experimenting with oil pastels, and we're going to do that again today. I'm going to be experimenting, and I'll show you how I create some of these pages. I've got a few pages. It actually feels really great. I love the feel. And I need to have my, I've got these, I use pencil stumps. They're not pencil, you usually use them when you're, these things. So usually when I'm doing graphite, I will use these with graphite to blend, but I found, because I don't like the messiness on my hand, I found they've also been useful for working with oil pastels. Some more examples here, and yeah, I'm gonna experiment with some of the pages. So I've laid down the pastels and then just created and etched into them. There's another one. So you would have seen the video of this one. And making the tabs has been quite easy, so I've just covered the playing card with collage paper, then cut it to size and stuck it in. Some more prepped but unfinished pages. I've yet to decide whether I want to create an image or, you know, do some abstract. Some pages in their very early stages, so this is what I would do. This was a stencil that had excess paint, and I've laid it down here so I can come back in and do some stuff. It's one of my envelope that I've turned into a card. And this was one of my artsy Second Sunday paintings that I did, inspired by Frida Kahlo. So you can see some of the papers that I've used are old bills. This was an old phone bill going back to 2012, and the paper that they use is quite thick. So I found, okay, let me just put a couple together and add it to this journal. So it's it forms one of the signatures. This is another painting that I did. It's a mixed media painting, and where it looks as if it's like 3D, it actually is, because this would have been clay, this is all fabric, and we've got fabric here. And I was wondering about doing a transfer of it. I really liked the detail, the print. It's just like this has now found a home, but I was looking at it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, it does look gorgeous. You know, it's funny when you're too close to it, you don't always see the beauty in it, and it's just like, wow, yeah, you're just I really love this piece, and what I might do is, you know, cut it out and use it, or use it in some way in my art piece. So let's come out again, and again other pages that are not yet done. This is a bit, this was handmade paper, and this art journal has had a lot of handling, so it's got ink stains a bit, and it's just like, it doesn't matter. And then more washi tape. So let me put that back in. So that's this journal. Maybe I'll call it the coin journal because of the coin for ease. But what we're going to do now is we're going to add some oil pastels to a page, and I'll share with you one of the techniques that I would do on it, and I'm now looking for, see, I've got several of these. I'm actually looking for the stump that I would have used. It's that one. It's a bit dishevelled. Okay, so let's go. So I've got a selection of oil pastels here. These ones are called Baldermere. If you are going to kind of follow along, just use what you have. Okay, just use what you have. So a selection here, I don't worry about deciding, well, what colour I use. I go with whatever I pick up. And although I am feeling maybe to separate them out into their colour groupings, but just loosely. Is that loosely enough? Is that loosely enough? There we go. There. I mean, it's no big deal, really. It really is no big deal. And once I've used it, I'm going to put it back in the container. So I haven't done this for quite a while, so I'm wondering whether I gessoed the page first. But we're going to try it with an ungessoed page, or one that's just like this. So actually, let's work on this. This has just got, it looks like a very thin layer of gesso, so that's fine. So I literally just come in and start adding in different areas, and you can see where I've put the I've placed some masking tape here, just in case I was using, if I was using supplies that leaked. So what I'm thinking now, like, there's some circles here, so why not add to the circles? And I literally just cover the page like this. So I hope you enjoy the creation of this page, and yeah, that you start playing more with the supplies that you have, maybe in a different way, maybe in the way that it's intended, but just play with your supplies. With the stump, what I do is smooth out some of the places where you can see white space. So I'm just going to now go round and smooth out some of these. And if I want to add more, I can also add either the same colour or a different colour. So, as you can see, what I've done is I've smoothed some of the all the oil pastels so it's smooth, and now I'm gonna go in and see. I can see like a shape of a face, so I'm just gonna go around that, and I'm using a water soluble graphite, and I'm just gonna that's the only thing at the moment that will mark on it, so I'm just going to use it. These are great, these water soluble graphites. Now obviously because it's oil pastels, you're going to have to deal with the fact that using water might be a slight issue, but we're not going to try and colour. Like, I've got all the colour that I need, and we're now just kind of laying down the image. Okay, so now I'm going to use my brushes to activate the water soluble charcoal. So now what I'm doing is etching into the piece with, I'm just using a pen. This is an old pen that you can obviously see it doesn't really work, so I can use it and not worry. So what this does is lift up some of the oil pastel on the paper, and you see the colour underneath, which is the colour of the paper that I started out with. And even here, where I've placed the gesso, oops, I can still etch into that, and you will see, you can see the colours. So where I've added the wax, the oil pastels, I'm just going to do some shapes in it. And I think that's it. So you can finish this, you can add like a gel medium over the top. Just be careful as you go over, because the water soluble graphite can still lift up, so just be careful as if you've used water soluble graphite to go over it. But yeah, that's the page. So you see how easy it was to use a new medium. I thought that was a fly. Use a new medium, or use a medium that you haven't used in a while on a page, prepped and creating an image. So let's give you a closer look.